Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm
Yeah,
sleepy.
yeah, we had a big Christmas and New Year's. So we took a
Yup.
break for the holidays. Now we're all back.
And Cash's birthday.
Oh yeah, big three, big three.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah. We didn't even do a party. We just took him to a place called Kid's Empire and he climbed and
We
slid
love
down
Kids
slides
Empire.
and
Yeah,
we
we
just got to
love,
have a fun family day. It was
yeah,
nice.
yeah, we love Kids Empire.
Oh, do they have them in Colorado?
Hmm.
It is so much fun,
So much.
especially when you don't have a whole party clan. Just us
I
three. It was
mean,
dope.
I mean, the best part is parents are free.
Yeah, yeah, it cost us $20
Hmm.
to wear him out and they have a policy where you can it's
Come
all
back.
day.
Yep,
Not that we would have brought him back, but I can
I've
see
done
it
that.
very beneficial to even be lying to your kids and being like, "Look, they said we can come back." But then they're going to sleep in the car anyway, so they're not going to remember. Well, mine
They,
anyway.
mine does. She's like, we go back? I'm like, sure, we can go back.
Yeah, that's funny.
Okay, so after dark, of course, we didn't miss a beat. So we are going to start this week with the worst ex ever. It's on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, watch it because it's great.
It's insane.
So crazy.
I
So
still need to
base
get through the last three episodes out of four, but
it's okay. It's okay. But
I'm like halfway through the second one. It's literally on my screen. I just
have work to do.
had work to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first episode is really crazy too, because it's about a guy named Ben Foster who attacks a woman in Oregon, and then we find out that he has two other exes that he actually did the same fucking thing to, and he
Then
got
we find
away.
out that the justice system has truly failed society and women in this episode.
It's really hard. I mean, they basically said if you don't have a complaining witness that won't show up, there you have to make a deal. Like
Yeah.
you have to show up. If you want people punished and accounted for, you have to show up. You have to tell
Yeah.
people what
I do
happened.
get that, but I have so much empathy towards like, okay, there should be
Victims.
some way to where they don't have to fucking be face to face with the person that traumatized them. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
Especially
being
like
sometimes
being
being face to
tortured by this dude.
yeah, but sometimes being face to face with them is actually like
Oh,
healing.
absolutely. For sure. But I feel
It
like you
might
can't
be
know that
scary,
until you
but
do it. So
exactly,
it's a
totally.
little bit disheartening to potentially traumatize yourself further.
Right. You're
You
like, great,
know?
I have to go through this again. I never wanted to see them
Right.
again.
But I could see it
Um,
being like a final, now we're done with this chapter, this
yeah. I
horror. You know what I
mean,
mean?
yeah, just it's so sad because you really have to do your diligence when you meet new people. Like you have
Well,
to
this is why I don't meet new people. This is why I don't make new friends.
well,
Am I paranoid or am I prepared? Am I
paranoid.
antisocial or do I
Yes.
just not want to be murdered? You know?
No,
Like,
no, you're antisocial as well. You have a problem. We
it's
know.
fine. I have,
You
I
are
have plenty
too
of friends. I
you
can
are
Zoom
too
call with you.
that's true. You are too secluded and you need to come back to reality.
I am pretty secluded. I'm in the woods now. I see
Yeah,
my child 24/7 and my husband like,
every other
15/7,
day.
10/7. I don't know what's the work day minus and sleeping. I don't fucking know. But
I don't know. You see your husband like, well, he's off all
I see him
day.
every
So
day. Just
yeah,
some days I'm like, we've only seen each
yeah,
other for a couple hours.
yeah. I don't know how, as a society, we allow people to not have accountability for their actions?
Um, First, I think it is for one about money because literally not even in that first episode situation a whole lot, but like someone with money that rapes or whatever, sexually assaults can typically find the resources to get themselves out of it in some sort of way.
Right.
But also, it's like everyone is so all about I feel like a lot of times society is focused on the very few men that are falsely accused,
Yeah.
whereas so then they're automatically being like, instead of, taking a victim's word at first, it's
Yeah.
automatically like, well, you need to prove that you were raped rather than we need to prove
That you
I mean that
didn't.
he raped her or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that does need to
Yeah.
be proven. I'm not saying because being falsely accused, that'd be horrible.
That
But
is
it's just like an
horrible.
automatic, like it's almost like misogyny that's built into us all. Like I don't
Totally.
even know.
No, I mean, I feel like that's a very accurate description of that. Um, Everyone says, they'll have their day in court, but reality is everyone already knows what happened
Yeah,
because they get it from the media or they get it from the people or whatever. They already draw their own conclusions. They have no idea what's happening. But it shouldn't be innocent until proven guilty. Unfortunately, it is
no,
guilty until proven innocent.
honestly. And I mean, if you look at how often victims are re-victimized because they're not believed versus how many people are falsely accused, I would say we're doing it fucking wrong in society. Like we
Yeah,
need to fucking change something.
right,
Obviously,
right.
But
Like OJ was acquitted. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit, correct? But
yeah,
if
but
you
did you see
ask
that video?
anybody, yeah,
That fucker
if
could
you
have put that
ask,
thing on.
if you ask anybody, did OJ do it?
Yes.
They're going to say yes, plain
Yeah.
and simple. They're going to tell you yes. They're also going to say, if you brought up Casey Anthony, did Casey Anthony kill her daughter Kaylee?
Yes. I
She was
believe
not,
so.
something happened, and she definitely knows something. And her
Right.
parents are shifty as hell. And it's, there's just too many what ifs.
Right.
But
But
she,
in those two examples, how often is OJ joked about and like a little bit praised? Not, like, oh, we
oh
want to
yeah,
get away with murder, but like it's more of like a haha, funny, he was
I could be,
acquitted.
yeah, I could
Whereas
be like
Casey
OJ.
Anthony, scum of the earth, devil, which I fucking believe that too. She is scum of the earth. Fuck her. But like it's just you often see crimes being committed and it more so being a joke a
Yeah,
little bit and not taken as seriously when it's men. But when a woman like Warnos,
yeah,
Eileen Warnos, come on, like you know, put that on our notes for a subject.
yes, absolutely. I
I
will. I
was
mean,
like,
it
wait a
it
minute, we got to speak about her one day because
always. Yeah, it's really hard to do both, you know?
yeah. And I do
It's
like to
really
play
hard.
devil's advocate for both
Oh,
sides.
totally. Because
And I do and
basically
I will, but man.
our justice system literally is to poke holes.
I
That's
mean,
all
you
the
literally
defense has to do.
try to get the
Just
best lawyer
yeah,
to manipulate
reasonable doubt,
the
reasonable
jury.
doubt, reasonable doubt. That's all
Yeah.
you need. And then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe nothing. Well, maybe nothing.
Yeah.
It's all crazy.
It is. It
Sorry,
blows my mind.
I'm writing Aline Wuornos.
Because the in that first episode, the worst part, like the most irritating part was not that the woman wouldn't go into court and like all of that.
Oh
It was
no.
that was it the first girlfriend was arrested after literally having like she got the shit beat out of her.
Mhm.
Wait, she got her finger cut off. Didn't he cut her finger off?
Almost, yeah, completely. Mhm.
Yeah, and then
So there was her
she was arrested. I was like,
and then released.
right. But why
And
was she
then,
arrested in the first place without the police? They should have known that this was an ongoing thing. That wasn't the first time. And I feel like had they looked into that a little bit, a tiny bit,
yeah,
they would have known that and realized they're arresting the wrong fucking person. You know?
yeah.
It's those simple little things that I'm like, this is why women don't come forward.
Oh, absolutely. Because you have to
Just
prove too much. You have to
what
prove
was
too
her name?
much.
Gabrielle. Um,
Um, yeah,
you know what I'm
Jesus
talking about.
Christ. Yeah, Gabby.
Yes. In that same situation. Like you watch those videos of her on the side of the road with this man.
Petito.
Petito, yes.
Hmm.
She You can clear as day see she has been abused by this man, gaslit, manipulated.
But do you hear what the words that are coming out of her mouth? People have to take you for granted. Like you have to actually
I do
speak the
get that.
words.
I do get that, but why can I see it so plain as day and these cops in person can't? You know what I mean? Like you can see her, she's shaking. Very clearly lying. He's very fucking clearly lying. Like he looked,
So,
you know?
yeah, he looked terrible. She looked like she was having a full-on meltdown. But if you're only watching it for that minute and you're getting a tip saying, "Hey, this guy hit this girl," there is no actual like
Yeah.
flat print or anything like that happening, then you're like,
But,
but
in the
we
instances,
know she went missing and then it appeared and then we have
yeah.
all these people who perfectly
Well, very
put
true. We had
the
that information
time.
prior. So then it
Mhm.
looked
And they're like,
obvious.
what happened? Why didn't they know?
Yeah.
Well, in the moment, how are they supposed to know? It's in the middle of COVID. The world's literally falling apart.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then she's crying, saying it's her fault, it's my fault, it's my fault.
But if I can go back to being devil's advocate, how
Always.
in that first episode of
Worst ex ever.
yes, I'm like looking at the screen trying to read it. Um, I
You need your glasses if you're
I
going to read,
do.
first of
I
all.
desperately need new glasses. Yeah. Um, we won't talk about that, but
We're always going to talk about that.
yeah. But in that first episode, doesn't it always seem like the man's side a lot of times is taken a little more serious in these situations? For example, in that first episode, obviously the man's word was taken more serious. They arrested the woman, even though
Hmm.
she had her ass kicked, she was missing a freaking tip of her finger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then in the Gabby Petito case, they should have done their due diligence. Even if they had arrested Gabby, she would have been alive at least a little longer than what she was. Can't predict the future.
How much, yeah, how much due diligence does people, they separated them. They put him in a hotel. She was in a van. It's her van. Like, so she went and picked
Yeah,
him up,
I
obviously,
guess
but they did do what they were supposed to
they
do
did
to keep,
separate them. Okay, yeah,
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 like this is a bad situation. Let's separate you. What you decide to do afterwards, which I get. Do you think I should have gone back to bad situations? No. But did I?
yeah,
Absolutely. Why? Because you feel alone. You feel like there's nothing that anyone can do except for that one person who is not good for you. That's why it takes
yeah,
7 to 8 times for people to leave to actually stay gone. It's
yeah,
not an easy thing to do. They break you down and manipulate you like nobody's business and make you feel that you are worthless because that's how you are to them. You're nothing.
yeah.
You're nothing to them.
Oh no, yeah.
There's no
Nothing to
love.
them as long as you're not
Yeah,
benefiting them.
you're property. You're literally property. And that's not a normal thing.
No.
There's just, I mean, these ladies that there, there's three of them. And these ladies, which I'm saying three because there's only three in this episode. I'm
Right.
sure there's more.
I
I'm
would say that
sure
there's
there's more. He, one of the exes, he
well, he was
shaved
on
her
Tinder,
head.
right? Or not Tinder,
Yeah,
but he was on a dating site. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
in Vegas. He shaved her head.
Yeah, that was the lady that didn't,
Yeah, show up.
right? She didn't show
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
But
She's
like,
like, do you blame
that's
her? Absolutely not.
no.
She asked for help. The cops couldn't do anything.
Exactly.
The law needs to catch up with now.
The law need yes, Sammy. The law needs to catch up because it's like it pissed me off. I completely understand where they're
Right.
coming from. Obviously, the victim does need to show up to tell their story to the jury and whatever. But what do they do in instances with a minor? Like, can we somehow put together where we're not re-victimizing victims? Like, you
Yeah.
know?
I mean, victims should be saved and they should, but yeah, basically, if we're
Yeah. Like, I don't have the answer of what would be the best for that, but I think that victims that maybe went through that should help
right.
create a rule or a law for that because, you
Well,
know,
exactly. I mean, if they, and I hate to be that person, but if they're going to ban TikTok because they don't like who the owner is and where they live,
yeah.
and they can do that, they should probably do something a little bit bigger. Like, hey, this guy
Well,
did this, like a sex registry, right? It should be an abuse registry or a way
no,
to
literally.
have
Like a
like,
sex offender, there should be like a domestic violence offender.
right.
Like we
Yeah,
need to know. Like we need to know your fucking past. Like everyone should be vetted before you
exactly.
date anyone new. Ladies, if you're
Absolutely.
dating online, get them vetted.
That pay for a simple background check, literally.
And even sometimes those though,
Well, right, it's
uh,
only a record,
you
but
know.
at the same time, if they have something, you can be like,
Yeah. At least look into them a little bit. Like,
yes, yes,
yeah. Don't have them come to your house. Don't meet them at their house. You meet them in fucking public
with friends.
with even if your friend has to sneak in and like get a table behind y'all, that's fine too. But
Yeah, yeah, get
but
air
like,
tags for yourself,
you
protect
know,
yourself.
a
Men
friend of
too.
mine back in the day, she met I just don't know if she wants me to speak on it, so I on here. But
We'll
but
just not say
she
names.
met a guy off Tinder and they ended up dating for a long time, and so he was a fine guy, whatever, blah blah blah. But she gave
Fine
me her
guy.
forget because
Fine
she
guy.
well fuck him now, like
Yeah, right. I know, I get it.
he was
That's fine.
fine then.
He's fine.
But I've had her location ever since then because and I lived in Colorado. I was like, bitch,
Mhm.
send me your fucking location because if you do go missing, I can't do much from here, but like the police will know your last known spot.
Exactly.
Can't ever be
Absolutely.
too careful.
No, you can't. You have to protect yourself. And
Um,
a lot of people are coming up with really cool ways like AirTag or your location or
yeah.
whatever. There's other ways to
Because you can
protect
even share your
yourself.
location just for a certain amount of time. I mean,
Yeah, but honestly, your family should know where you are at all times. Someone should know
yeah.
where you all are at all times. We
Hmm.
don't live off the grid. We all have iPhones. We all have the internet. We all have streaming devices. We
Yeah.
all have cars that are way too fucking smart for our own good. We're good, right?
Yeah.
Like if they can come up with Ubers with that don't actually have drivers in big cities, I'm just saying
Okay, and
you
fuck
can
that.
share.
I would not be getting that car. That's
Just saying.
terrifying.
I saw one in Phoenix and it was mind blowing.
I seen a
But
video of them, but
I mean, it is what it is, and that's what they're trying
yeah.
to do. They're taking. We're growing as people and technology. We're literally
Let's
growing,
stop
and
growing
it's time.
technology and let's all fucking expand our minds a little bit. Let's all gain a little more
But
empathy for each other before we
you can't say that because our minds are expanding, and that's why technology is taking off the way it is.
Well, our
Literally,
minds are expanding in an unempathetic asshole way, in my opinion.
of course. Why would anyone have empathy for
You
anybody
know,
else?
like we're losing human connection and human touch and
Girl,
actually
you live in the
speaking to people.
woods.
Yeah. And I now, you know what I do? I'm connected to the wild. I fucking bird watch. I spit facts at my husband constantly about these freaking cardinals out here. He didn't know that female cardinals didn't look red. And I was like, bro, listen. I'm learning
Because
all
you
sorts of
know
shit
about the
back.
damn birds.
Oh, I am a complete bird watcher now. It is absurd,
Oh
honestly.
my
Like
gosh.
we have an area back here where
You don't need any
Tyler's
more
trying to get rid of,
hobbies.
huh?
I said, you don't need
No,
any
my
more
hobbies now
hobbies.
are like an 80-year-old woman. I'm going to start making my own butter.
For sure.
I'm gonna start a sourdough starter. Look at Ken's back there. Oh my, hi baby. Okay, I'm sorry. She distracted me. Oh, hi, buddy. Look how stinking cute. I just saw her little face, her little eye, and I was like, I wish I was on the corner of the couch there. But yeah, I'm gonna do sourdough, and I am doing a cut flower garden this spring, and I am making
Perfect.
keep these weeds back here because the cardinals love it in the winter, and it like feeds
You know
them.
what? You do that. You make your sourdough. Don't forget to video it so we can upload it to our lovely people.
Yes, and I'll have to send you some sourdough and butter well, I don't know how I'll send you butter. I'll send you some sourdough.
I mean, you could drive.
I could drive. I'll have to drive you a cooler. I think that we will be capable of traveling with cash in the next couple years.
My
Like we
God, you're
want to do a
three.
road trip, like a
Do
nice,
it.
easy, slow road trip. I also, this sounds awful, and I'm not wishing time away. But with two dogs, it's really hard. But once Inky is gone, and I hate to say that because that is my OG, that is my fucking baby. So I'll be devastated. But, we can't take her anywhere at all. And I think Falco, we can't take him anywhere at all either, but he's trainable.
Is he?
Maybe. Maybe.
All
You're
right.
laughing because you know that ain't fucking true, but
Yeah, he's not
I have high
trainable.
hopes.
Okay, so next week we're going to talk about sins of the mother, and we have a whole bunch of fun episodes that we're going to talk about this week. Okay?
And I will probably go on a rant about that lady. 'Cause
Oh, definitely.
fuck her.
So next time.
Bye.